exciting days for us here in Greendale. The good members of the Greendale Police Department are committed to ensuring and enhancing the quality of life in Greendale and will settle for nothing less than continuous improvement. That is our vision statement. And I think today exemplifies that. We are improving our department and improving the quality of service to Greendale in two different ways. We're providing a new service and an old service. One of the things we do here is we really promote upward leadership, and these are two examples of people who lead by example and are making Greendale better every day because of their leadership. I'd like to introduce a couple people that are welcome. The whole Police and Fire Commission is here today, and I'd like to thank you for attending. Commission President Greg Weir, Dave Roma, Pat Farley, Carol Liederbach, and Tomislav Kuzmanovic. I think I said that correct. Welcome, thank you for attending. Village President John Hermes is here, thank you. The Village Manager Todd Michaels and his Assistant Manager Sarah, I think I saw Sarah, thank you. Tim Zainer, the Fire Chief, and his whole staff are here, thank you. DPW Director Robbie McFall, thank you for attending. And from the school district, Principal Steve Lotus and Director Brian Kafarnas are here as well. Thank you very much for attending. I hope I didn't miss anybody. We're going to do two things today. We're going to promote Captain, I have to be the first one to say it, Jeff Zainer. And then we're going to do a ceremonial swearing in of our new K-9 unit and just give you a brief demonstration of our slideshow of how and why we chose this kennel and these people. Let's start with Jeff. Jeff, if you please step forward. Jeff has been with the department for 27 years. He's been married to Nicolette, who's a Waukesha County Deputy Sheriff, and they have two children, Kelly and Ryan, in the front row. He has a bachelor's degree to the University of Wisconsin-Oshkosh and graduate of Northwestern University supervisor of Police Personnel School. His specialized training record is so extensive, I couldn't even list it in the time we have here. He's very highly trained. Jeff started with the Greendale Police Department in August of 1985. Before that, he was an emergency medical technician training basic firefighting techniques and the operation of firefighting apparatus and equipment. He left the fire service to join the Greendale Police Department. As a patrolman, he was a member of the Greendale's first emergency response team, the precursor of today's SWAT team. He was very active on patrol in his well-known throughout the community because of his outgoing, friendly personality. Jeff was a patrolman from 1980. You may as well pull up a chair. Jeff was a patrolman from 1985 until February of 1992, at which time he was promoted to police sergeant. It was at that time his leadership skills really started to come out. During his time as a sergeant, he worked all three shifts and supervised both officers and dispatchers. He frequently supervised complex investigations, and some of his many job responsibilities were special, and still are, special events coordinator, media relations, public information officer, background investigations, equipment and maintenance, vehicle maintenance and repairs. He supervises the property room. He's a vehicle crash reconstructionist specialist. He prepared and administered highway safety grants and raised thousands of dollars for the department. In the last 2 years alone, I bet he was personally responsible for what, $40,000, $50,000 in grant money coming into the police department. He was the safety committee coordinator who coordinated and completed the village's disaster plan. As a sergeant, Jeff was highly thought of, both inside and outside the department. His reputation as a supervisor and leader is so respected that frequently other agencies have him participate in their promotional interview boards. In November of 2011, Jeff was promoted to lieutenant, where he currently oversees all patrol operations and and he's still responsible for emergency management, property, community relations, and administrative services. Most recently, Jeff has taken the driver's seat to implement the K-9 unit. Jeff is single-handedly responsible for what we have today. He took it upon himself to take off with this program, and he's been like an ant. He just got into the ground, and he is just gone. I never imagined that this would happen this fast. When I presented to the board, I said, hey, really, it'll be a year, 2 years before this is going, and it's 6 months, and we're up and running. He is the person instrumental in obtaining the donations for the equipment. He's taken part in the creation of policies and procedures, rules, procurement of the equipment needed for the program, and pretty much has his hand in every aspect of the K-9 unit. With his extensive knowledge and training, he could easily have been promoted many times prior to today, but he's not a glory seeker. He's always chose to devote his expertise to bettering the department and providing high-quality service to the village. I personally have always looked up to him. Both as a cop and as a supervisor, he's always been that guy that everybody looks up to. When I became the chief, I knew my administration would not be complete, and he never let me down. It would not be complete without him. He's never let me down. I'm proud to present to you today Jeff Zainer for promotion to police captain.
Who have been appointed to
position of police captain
the position of police captain
in and for
the
village of Greendale,
village of Greendale,
but have not yet entered upon
but have not yet entered
the
upon
duties thereof,
the duties thereof,
swear or affirm
swear or affirm
that I will support
that I will support
the Constitution of the United States,
the Constitution of the United States,
the Constitution of the State of
the
Wisconsin,
Constitution of the State of Wisconsin,
all county and municipal ordinances,
all county and municipal ordinances,
and will faithfully discharge
and will faithfully discharge
the duties of said office
the duties of said office
to the best of my
to
ability.
the best of my ability.
So help me God.
So help me God.
And the ceremonial pinning of the badge is done by his wife, Nicolette. I was just reminded that I forgot something. I was so excited to move forward with our program, the promotions, that I forgot. Father Mark Moore, our department chaplain, is here.
We get to pray anytime. Maybe it's even appropriate to pray between these two ceremonies. One leads to the other. Our prayers today are first of gratitude of long years of service, and faithful service. And in this transition, your leadership has also brought in a new kind of officer to this department that looks to the future with something new. So in your pending retirement, in your promotion, which is so well-deserved, you also bring in something new to continue on your legacy. Let us pray. Good and gracious God, we thank you for the service of all your officers, but especially today of Jeff Zainer. And we are so grateful for his service and his duty and his presence and his leadership. And we show that by offering this promotion to captain. And in that leadership, we also pray for the service of our newest officer, Officer Noble. That officer added this department the dynamic that we haven't had before. We also offer thanks for the families of these officers. Their support and devotion has made this possible. The leaders who have brought them along and taught them and trained them and guided them, the department, and the community. We thank them for all their service and support. We thank you for your leadership. We thank God for his presence in your life. And with the Son, Jesus Christ, we pray. Amen.
Okay. What I'm gonna do before we bring Nova out is I'm gonna do a little slide presentation. You know, as I look up, I see there are several of our donors in here. And our program will be only successful if we have buy-in from the community and participation by the community. And we have really been blessed with generous supporters. Like I said, our program started and took off much quicker than we anticipated, and that's due to the generosity of many of the people in this room. I can't even begin to go around, we'd be here all day if I talked about all the donors we had. There is a plaque on the back that lists some of our donors, but we have very, very generous citizens in Greendale, and I'd like to thank all of you who are here and all who helped out our program. Nova, the name Nova was chosen. We had a naming contest, and we had hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of submissions from all the schools and residents of Greendale. Nova is the new official village avenger. And so that's the name Tony chose for his dog. The kennel is the Southern Police Canine Incorporated in Spring Hope, North Carolina. We chose that kennel intentionally. It was our choice. Nobody sold us or got anything for us choosing it. We chose it for the quality of their dogs. Their reputation is impeccable in Milwaukee County. They provide most of the dogs all throughout Milwaukee County. Most of the other police departments as well use this kennel. Not only because of the quality of their dog, but their ability to match the dog and the trainer and to customize training for the needs of the agency. Their dogs are 100% guaranteed, and so far, I like what we've seen so far. Accommodations, if you look at this photo, this is the picture on the top is the owner's residence. Looks pretty nice. The pictures below it is where Tony got to live. The accommodations are rustic at best. This is a working dog training kennel. It's not a 5-star hotel. Most of the training took place outdoors in the elements. The pictures we have, you know, Tony was wet and bundled up when it was cold. There's 27 acres, and it definitely was a tall order for Tony to be gone that long and living out of that little trailer with all the bunk beds. The first challenge we had was matching the kennel head was matching the dog with the handler. They take into consideration the demeanor of the dog and the dog and the handler's ability to bond. Tony told me that for almost the first week he spent following the dog and picking up presents on the road while he was bonding with the dog. Like I said, the training is specific to the needs of the agency, and since Nova was our first dog, the trainers recognized that there has to be a certain amount of public relations ability and socializing ability, so they trained that into the dog for us. The dog has to respond to continual training, and after Nova is introduced to the community, then we pick up the level of his training, train more and harder to better increase his skills. The first thing they train is obedience and control. It's important for the handler and the dog. The dog is only as good as his handler. I hear that over and over and over again. And that's why we chose Tony. Tony, had to be 10 years ago, he wrote up this program, and he's been pushing to get this program that long. He did not give up the hope, and when we finally got to the point where we it looked like it was gonna be a reality. We had a testing process. We brought in dog trainers and experts from throughout the area to come in and test candidates and pick who they thought would be the best candidate from our department. And they chose him based on his knowledge and his desire to train. So he didn't just get handed the job, he had to earn it. So the dog undergoes training, and Tony will undergo continuous training and education to make the dog better. One of the tools of our dog will be drug searches. Nova's going to be specifically trained to search for drugs. He can search lockers, vehicles, homes, search warrants, almost anywhere Tony turns him loose. We'll also use him for evidence searches. We've chosen not to have a dog that's specific to narcotics. Our dog will have the ability to search for other objects as well. He can search for guns, cell phones, or pretty much anything that's human scent on it. If somebody is running from a crime scene and throws something, our dog will be trained to look for that item and find it. Tracking. Nova is going to be specifically trained to search for people. We'll use them to track for suspects fleeing from a crime scene, searching buildings and residences for hidden persons or objects. This is particularly important to us since we have the biggest mall in Wisconsin. Currently it takes hours. If there's a burglar alarm and we suspect somebody's hidden in the store, it can take 2 hours to search a building. With the use of a dog, that time gets cut down to a fraction of that amount of time. We can also use them to track missing and endangered persons with special needs, a person without autism or Alzheimer's that wanders away, that got lost. We can use the dog to help search for that person, locate it more quickly. Physical apprehensions. That's a cool word, isn't it? You want to see what one looks like? This is a physical apprehension. No, that's the other one. This is Nova and Tony in a training session. And that's Nova meeting somebody. Tony likes to say you can get away from Nova if you can run more than 37 miles an hour. I say you just have to run faster than the slowest person. So physical apprehensions is something that everybody knows the dog does. It's not something we're going to advertise a lot. It's not a pleasant thing, but it'll be a tremendous advantage to the officers for their safety. People who would fight with an officer won't fight with Nova. And so that's a huge advantage for us, for our officer safety. For training, we have to train the dog, the handler, the department staff, the supervisors, and specially trained agitators. Nova's training is ongoing throughout his career. He never stops training. He trains all the time. That includes, and Tony's as well. Tony has to train on care and deployment considerations, legal implications, search and seizure rules, and current laws and trends. Just like anything else, every time a dog is used and people sue, cases go to the courts, and practice and law change. So Tony has to stay current on all those issues. The other training considerations, we have to have a trained agitator, a person who's trained to work with the dog and learn how to get bit and knocked out and tackled. I'm going to show you a video of Tony being trained as an agitator and his idea of agitating a dog. In this video, they were teaching the dog you don't have to just bite in the arm when they attack, that you can bite in other areas. And Tony came up with this idea. That's Tony in the suit. I have my slides of Tony after these bites, big old bite marks on his body. So it's a very, it's a job that is not easy, but it's a necessity. And believe it or not, we have volunteers in our department who volunteered to undergo that training so that they can work with the dog. That's the tremendous amount of buy-in they have for the rest of the staff. Nova's training will result in certifications and accreditations, credentials that will support his use, in court. He trains weekly at the department, monthly with other police departments and organizations, and he trains annually with the Wisconsin Law Enforcement Canine Handlers Association. So, with that being said, I'd like to bring Nova out. I'm going to ask you, please, a little disclaimer. Nova's very young. He's a pup, and he's very curious. He's inexperienced in social situations because he's new to our department, and we're new to how he's going to interact. So I'm going to ask you, please, don't applaud when he comes in. Don't move quickly in his direction. Please don't reach out to touch him or the handler, because he's going to protect his handler, and we are still learning how to read him and his clues. So, with that being said, let's bring Nova. We're going to have Nova here. We're going to have training. He gets a white packet that has controlled substance in it, and he looks for that white packet. So if she's standing and holding paper, I'm right behind you.
Hi, Nova.
Nice.
Nova, Mulligan. Way off. Knee off. Right there. This is Nova. He's just a year and a half old, so he's still got a little bit of puppy in him yet. But we're slowly working through that.
Well, this is Officer Tony Fitzgerald. For those of you who don't know him, he's their handler and Nova. So we're going to do a ceremonial swearing in, just because he's our first dog, and we thought it'd be pretty darn cool to do it.
So Tony's going to be answering for Nova. I know Nova, who have been appointed to the position of police canine officer in and for the village of Greendale, but have not yet entered upon the duties thereof, swear or affirm that I will support the Constitution of the United States, the Constitution of the State of Wisconsin, all county and municipal ordinances, and will faithfully discharge the duties of said office to the best of my ability. So help me God.
He will.
Canine officers actually get a badge, so Tony's going to do the ceremonial pinning himself. We're going to keep Nova on as long as his temperament allows. If you'd like to take photos with the dog, all I ask is that you work with Tony, and as long as the dog cooperates, we'll keep him out here and take photos.
Just, you don't want to reach out to him. I'll keep him so he can't lunge. You have, I wouldn't keep anything in your hands, no gloves. If you got baggy sleeves, kind of tighten them up so they're not
Two things that I think would be interesting, why is that speaking English to you? And number two, that it wasn't Nova attacking you as a dog.
correct.
Correct. The dog that was attacking Tony was a different dog.
Because he would attack Tony.
We would, when in training, you never take a bite from your own dog. It was another department's agency. There was actually 7 of us there at the training facility that during the 6 weeks I was there. His commands are all in Dutch. The reason, well, for one, that it's Dutch is that when he was trained and he actually came from Hungary. So if the command's over there, we're all in Dutch. It's easier to train me in Dutch than it is to retrain him in English. And two, it's important that no one knows what I'm saying to him or can say anything to him to give him a command. So it reinforces him listening only to me.
We actually have a birth certificate and passport, that he had a passport to come to the United States, so we have his passport.
I don't even have a passport. He's got one.
Thank you very much for coming, everybody. That's the end of our program. Please have some refreshments, and if you want to take pictures with Jeff and the dog, let us know, and we'll try to accommodate as much as we can. Thank you very much.